This is CBC Here and Now.
A fast-moving fire, this time in Paradise.
A home destroyed and a narrow escape for the sleeping tenant inside.
A Newfoundland man claims the Pentecostal church failed to protect him from a sexual predator.
He feels that nothing was done to protect him.
I'll have more on Here and Now.
Good evening, I'm Debbie Cooper.
And I'm Mariana Kelland.
And we start tonight in Paradise, where fire destroyed a home late this afternoon.
And for the man living downstairs, it was a lucky escape.
Here Now's Ryan Cook is live there in Paradise tonight. Ryan, what can you tell us?
Well, Debbie, you're looking at the charred remains of all that's left of this house on Tops of Road here in Paradise after a fire started on the back deck earlier today. Investigators are here at this hour trying to determine exactly how that started, but we did speak to the acting platoon chief of the local fire department here earlier, and this is what he told us.
Luckily, we have 3 bungalows. The main one in the middle here was severely damaged through the fire, and the bungalows on either side received some heat damage as a result. Crews arrived from Paradise and Mount Pearl Station. They used master streams and hand lines to knock the fire down. In the main house, the main occupant upstairs wasn't home, but the tenant in the basement apartment was at home, and a neighbor actually saw the fire and came over, and he was asleep, and the neighbor came over, knocked on the door, and got him up.
Now the family is back on scene here this afternoon. They're being assisted by the Red Cross right now. They wanted to pass along a message that they're extremely thankful to the firefighters who came and put this fire out. We also spoke to the neighbor here who played the hero earlier. Here's what he told us.
Well, around 2 o'clock today, I heard some crackling noises, and I ran out to the back of the house and saw the whole back of the house was totally engulfed in flames. And then I see my next door neighbors running across. They had called the fire department. I ended up running down back and started knocking on his back door and singing out to show him, because I figured he was still in the apartment. Sure enough, he was. He come out, he was asleep. Luckily enough, he got out. Thank God. I wouldn't say there's much left of that house right now. There's not a thing, nothing salvageable in there now. I just had some minor damage to mine, just some siding and the side close to the house. But what's more important is that everyone else got out safe, so the house can be replaced.
Now lots of property damage here, but as he said, no loss of human life, nobody hurt. This could have been a lot worse, but Sean Dobbin plays the hero. Reporting live in Paradise, I'm Ryan Cook for Here Now.
He said, you got to go, and you got to go now. It was just like a picture from Fort Mac with fire trucks going and hoses coming out.
I'm actually really nervous. I said goodbye to my sweet house. Yeah, it's really bad.
I gotta say, give it another 2 or 3 minutes without anyone noticing. Inside the house would have been up, the house would have been on fire. It would have been a disaster.
Residents of Kenmount Terrace are back in their homes tonight after yesterday's fast-moving forest fire forced them to evacuate.
A dozen or so homes sustained damage, melted siding and windows, all minor considering the suburb could have been completely destroyed. Now, our Katie Breen has been covering this story. Katie, you spoke with residents today. How are they coping?
They're doing well. They're just amazed, really, and really thankful, because when this fire was really going and really pumping and people were evacuating, they were sure this neighborhood was done for.
When I walked out the door and I saw those flames there, there's no way that I thought that Mike's house, Dave's house, John's house and mine would be here by the time last night came around. It was pretty horrifying. You know, it's something you'd never want to see, because I've never seen anything move as fast as that fire moved.
The response yesterday was heavy and immediate. Fire and emergency services were on scene, but so were the residents.
So you were helping fire crews sling the hose?
Oh, no, not only me. I mean, there was all the neighbors. Everybody helped. The people that didn't even live here. The workers at Fairview, they were out hauling hoses, and whatever they sang out to do, everybody just grabbed and helped. Right?
The smoke was so thick that some people couldn't find their own cars. Despite this, everybody was safely evacuated with no injuries, and the damage, not nearly as bad as it could have been.
At one point, the flames were probably, you could see them shooting up at least a story over the roof of our house.
Ralph wouldn't come home last night. She wasn't ready. But now that the power's restored, she's home again, keeping the lawn watered down and trying to return to normal.
I'm glad it's over and they're keeping an eye on it. You'll see helicopters have still been going around looking for hot spots and just making sure that the fire is completely out.
The green belt behind these houses is black now. Until the trees grow back, it's a constant reminder of how close this neighborhood came to tragedy and the fight that went into keeping it.
Hopefully no flare up, but I'm really thankful, and I'm hoping that me and my children will be able to come home tonight and sleep peacefully.
Now that the threat has subsided, police are starting to investigate, because a lot of times in these types of cases, all the evidence is completely wiped out. Officers often rely heavily on eyewitness material, so they're asking anyone with any information on how this fire could have started to come forward. Ariana?
Thanks, Katie. And as neighbors have been saying, it could have been much worse. Not only was the fire in a dense neighborhood, but Kenmount Terrace is a newer subdivision, the homes built with a lot more plastics.
Their sidings are basically plastic. The insulation that's right directly underneath that siding is usually a styrofoam board, and those things are fairly volatile when directly impinged by flame.
And we'll come back to this story in 30 minutes and hear from Deputy Fire Chief Don Byrne about what it took to fight yesterday's fire and save a neighborhood.
Well, we've had those very warm, windy, sunny conditions, but as you can see, Carolyn joining us now. And Carolyn, there's some rain headed our way.
Oh boy, is there ever some rain. We do have a few showers coming through tonight, but the real rain is set to hit later this week with that tropical storm Chris that everyone is talking about. So I thought we would start there and have a look at where Chris is right now in relation to our province. So right now, Chris is swirling off the coast of the Carolinas, not really causing much of a problem down there, but it is set to turn into a hurricane over the next few days and track up towards Newfoundland. Really, the coast or the east coast of Newfoundland being the ones that will be hit the most with this. By the time it gets up here, it's expected to be a post-tropical storm. So you can see by Thursday afternoon into Thursday night and Friday morning, that's when we're expecting to see that hit most of the island. There is a tropical cyclone statement in effect for most of the province, but there is some disagreement with the guidances, so it's still a little bit early. We'll find out more in the coming days about exactly where this will hit and how hard it'll be.
This orange mark right here, a sign of the pothole man. Coming up on Here Now, I'll tell you about the Summerford Town Councillor turned road warrior.
Really knew virtually nothing of what was living in the bottom.
What lies in the deepest, darkest parts of the oceans off Labrador? I'm Peter Cowan. I'll tell you what scientists have discovered coming up on Here and Now.
A Newfoundland man who was sexually assaulted by his Sunday school teacher decades ago is suing the Pentecostal church. He claims church officials in a northeast coast community knew the teacher sexually assaulted children but failed to stop him from doing it again. Mark Quinn reports.
A Pentecostal Sunday school teacher was convicted of sexual assaults dating back to the 70s and 80s. One of his victims says the church knew about it, but didn't stop it. Lawyer Jeff Budden is representing victim John Doe, whose identity is protected by a publication ban.
He feels that nothing was done to protect him, while on the other hand, significant efforts were made to assist the perpetrator in reintegrating into the church community, which he in fact did.
Documents from the 1980s show church officials knew the Sunday school teacher sexually abused 3 boys. The teacher wrote letters of apology admitting it. There were also letters from victims' parents promising not to press charges. The Pentecostal church dismissed the teacher for a year. Budden says he should have been reported to police.
The church had a legal obligation towards our client, and that they failed to meet that legal obligation, and that he suffered great harm because of that.
Budden's firm is in court this week to try to get the name of the teacher's other victims. They want to know what the church knew and when. Mark Quinn, CBC News, St. John's.
The president of NAPE is speaking out about recent deaths inside provincial prisons. 4 people have died inside correctional institutions since last August. The provincial government has called an independent inquiry to be headed by former police officer Marlene Jesso. But Jerry Earle says action has to be taken as soon as possible to improve conditions for workers and for inmates.
Also believe, and a number of advocacy groups believe, that changes have to happen in the correctional system. I'm not sure if you're familiar with, back about a decade ago, actually this October will be 10 years that a report was done on decades of darkness. One of the very recommendations in that report was that a comprehensive strategy be put in place for mental health and addictions issues. That wasn't implemented to our understanding to the degree that it should have.
A long and dangerous rescue mission is over in Thailand. An international team of expert divers has guided the last 5 members of a boys' soccer team from a flooded cave.
We have done something that nobody thought that we can do this, the first time in the world.
The cheers were long and loud as officials announced a successful end to the ordeal. The final 4 boys and their coach were taken out of the cave today. 8 boys were rescued on Sunday and Monday. They all survived a risky trek out of the cave, climbing, wading, and diving through narrow passageways. They've all been taken to hospital and are recovering.
The truck driver charged in the deadly Humboldt Broncos bus crash has made a brief appearance today in Melfort, Saskatchewan. 29-year-old Jas Karat Singh Sidhu left the courthouse soon after, released for now on payment of $1,000. He's charged with 16 counts of dangerous driving causing death and 13 counts of dangerous driving causing bodily injury. Sidhu has been barred from driving and has surrendered his passport. He's due back in court on August 21st.
Well, you might not ever see him, but if you're driving in central Newfoundland, you will see his work. A town councillor in Summerford is leading the fight against potholes, painting bright orange lines to warn drivers. Tonight, Here Now's Garrett Barry reveals the identity of New World Island's road warrior.
Tired of the dodging, the weaving, even the banging? Your hopes have been answered. A new superhero on New World Island.
It is pothole man.
He's taking his weapon and going to war.
I don't know, but I've done quite a few of them from here to Lewisboard, Long Point, from Stoneville over towards the ferry in Fogo.
Like all good heroes,
you get a little further along now. That's wonderful.
He's got fans.
Well, I think the man is doing a wonderful service, and I've had some issues with hitting potholes and things like that there. And like when you're approaching some of these potholes and you see that red there, you know that it's dangerous, and you know you have to just avoid that.
And he's got a nemesis.
I don't think the Department of Transportation got much liking for me, but that don't bother me one pick in this world.
Why do you think they don't like you?
Because I'm shaming them up.
And there's more evidence of the pothole man's work right here behind me. It's alerting drivers, but Barnes certainly hopes that these bright orange marks get the attention of the Department of Transportation.
It's time for the government to turn around and fill up some of those instead of doing what they're doing.
Barnes says the road conditions here are brutal.
Awful, miss. You wouldn't catch me driving no motorcycle after dark, not for love nor money.
He's gotten some results.
10 or 12 in Virgin Arm has been filled.
And the Department of Transportation says more is coming, but it says it has to prioritize what roads need to be repaired and when. Right now, crews are working in other areas of the region. Government also says you're putting yourself at risk if you paint like this in the middle of the road. But Barnes is promising he'll be back next year to keep his fight alive. Garrett Barry, CBC News, New World Island.
Well, last week we told you about yoga on the lawn of Government House on Wednesdays. Well, on Tuesdays in July, starting today, there's Tai Chi taking place there.
Free Tai Chi sessions for anyone who wants to take part. We dropped by today and spoke to some of the participants.
Whole movement led
Well, it's really exciting for us to open up the grounds of Government House. It's important that people know they can come here and relax. And of course with Tai Chi it's all about relaxation. This is a first for me, but it's something that I've always been interested in. The turnout has been wonderful.
This is my first time. I really enjoy it. I will be definitely coming back again sometime. I like the fact that it helps me with my disability, and it helps me do some stretches.
I do Tai Chi Chuan pretty much every day. There's something nice about doing it outside. It's just something refreshing. Seeing in Newfoundland, we don't get to do that very much. So it's nice to be outside every now and then.
I've just recently retired, so I thought this is a great way to take it in, free at Government House. It's a great thing to do. It's just so relaxing and just makes you, everything stand still for a little while and just take in the beauty of the nature and just a time to forget everything and just relax.
That's fantastic.
I feel calmer already. I don't know about you.
What a beautiful setting to
Really
participate in that. And last week when they started yoga, it was a gorgeous day.
Mhm.
Another gorgeous day today. They're on a roll.
They are.
This big building, well, it's going to change the way we deal with garbage on the West Coast. I'll take you to the official launch of this transfer station. It's coming up.
Welcome back to Here and Now. The way people on the West Coast handle trash and recycling is about to change in a very big way. Officials announced the opening of a new waste building that will replace the dump near Corner Brook, but it comes with higher tipping fees, and as Colleen Connors reports, there's still a lot of garbage to sort out.
This is the new waste transfer station that will replace the actual landfill. 18 to 20 tons of garbage and recycling will come through here daily before it's shipped to a new waste facility in Norris Arm.
This is a modern facility. It's a change in the way that people think. It's a shift in the way that we will manage our waste at the curb for our children and our grandchildren.
Soon, staff will sort, squish, and ship garbage and a new long list of recyclables.
You have recycling occurring on one side and you have compaction occurring on the other with the normal waste, and then that goes into an environmentally engineered landfill site.
New technology means higher fees to drop off waste. Starting next week, the price to dump garbage will rise from $75 a ton to $164. And some people are already doing this, dumping garbage just down the road from the site instead of paying higher fees.
Illegal dumping occurs. It's a cultural shift. That can only be changed through education.
This is not something that anybody wants to see. I don't think whether you're a legislator or an average citizen, you want to see garbage sitting off to the side of the road. So again, one of the big things I think is education, that we had to continue to work with people. This is a big transition, so we realize that this is going to take some time.
That education means new school programs and a big shift in public thinking. Kerry wants to take it a step further and change the legislation to increase illegal dumping fees, and the minister is all for it.
We are open to that. Anything we can do to help implement and enforce the work that they're doing is something, that's a conversation I'm willing to have anytime.
For now, the focus is on informing the public on these new ways to dump trash. As for the landfill, where people on the West Coast have been dumping their garbage for years, well, cleanup of that site will start when this transfer station goes online. That starts on July 16th. Colleen Connors, CBC News, Wild Cove.
Scientists are trying to solve a mystery. Just what lies at the bottom of the Labrador Sea? No one has ventured down into some of the deepest parts of the ocean. But using new techniques, scientists are starting to get an idea. Here Now's Peter Cowan explains.
What lies at the deepest depths of the waters off Newfoundland and Labrador has long been a mystery for scientists. No one had traveled down 3,000 meters to explore the plants and animals that live at those deep depths. But now, with oil and gas exploration venturing into deeper waters and climate change affecting the oceans, scientists wanted to get a handle on just what's down there.
We really knew virtually nothing of what was living in the bottom. So nobody had done any work in that area. And so it was a great opportunity for us to get an insight into this frontier area and see some new things.
Last year, Dave Cote and his team traveled off the north coast of Labrador, putting down sensors and cameras to figure out what's at the bottom. It's not an easy place to work. It takes hours just to lower the equipment 3 kilometers to the bottom. And there's lots of life down there. They found some of the deepest corals and sponges in the world growing on the bottom, a habitat for fish. And there are lots of fish, like this endangered wolffish.
And again, this is another species with a large eye and big nostrils.
And they're solving some mysteries. For example, the blue hake is a deep water fish, but scientists never knew where they spawned.
In our samples that we collected, we found many mature individuals, which suggests that this might be one of the first areas that they know about where these species spawn. So that's a pretty important finding.
Back at the lab, the work continues, gathering information about the size and health of the fish.
Well, as a scientist, it's always exciting to have a discovery like that. And we think it's a sign of good things to come. When you go into a new area like this, you're really hoping that you're going to see some new things, and we expect to in the next couple of years.
They're using cameras and trawls, but they're also using brand new technology. They've captured water samples from deep below the ocean surface, and they're using brand new DNA techniques to find fish who may be too shy to show up on camera.
All animals are shedding little bits of cells and genetic material into the water column and on the sediment. So if we can get a sample of that water or sediment, we can extract the DNA from there and then bring it to the lab and run those segments of DNA and look to see from databases which animals they belong to. So we can actually get a picture of what animals live in that water without actually seeing the animals.
David Cote and his team are going to be back out on the water in just a few weeks. They're going to retrieve sensors they left on the ocean floor, gathering data for a whole year, and that will help them better understand just what's out there. Peter Cowan, CBC News, St. John's.
Well, a longtime St. John's politician has died.
These are the 1990s. I mean, that we just cannot afford, I don't think, environmentally or economically or socially, right, in our province to be importing garbage from anywhere.
Ray O'Neill was a city councillor for 20 years. That included a term as deputy mayor. He was national president of the Federation of Canadian Municipalities and served as the head of the Newfoundland Safety Council for 30 years. His funeral is being held Friday morning at the Basilica of St. John the Baptist. O'Neill was 72 years old.
Well, some showers are on the way, although it looks so spectacular out there now in St. John's. This is a live shot along the parkway. There will be perhaps some relief for the dry conditions, though. Carolyn has our details next.
Our update is brought to you by Take Charge Business Efficiency Program. Over 570 businesses have saved energy and taken charge of their bottom line. Find out how you can too.
Well, today was a hot one, very hot in St. John's, but not the hottest.
No, there was that heat warning in place for parts of central Newfoundland today, and it's staying in place for tomorrow. It won't be quite as hot tomorrow as it was today, but still a scorcher for a lot of places. Let's have a look at some of the highs today in St. John's. We got up to 26 degrees. It was a pretty breezy day, but still nice and warm. Badger, you can see, got up to 29. Feeling much warmer with that humidex in the 30s there. So yeah, it was a very warm day. Not so much for Labrador City though. A high of just 15 degrees there, but don't worry, things are going to change. Some nice warm weather coming for Labrador later in the week. So there are some thunder showers happening in eastern parts of Labrador tonight, so some heavier rain in some areas, and we do have some showers that will be coming up through overnight tonight. You can see Wednesday 2 a.m. So yeah, some showers for parts of the island and for Labrador. You can see those thunder showers there. Lows of 9 degrees in Cartwright, 10 degrees in Happy Valley, Goose Bay, and some showers in the east. And for pretty much everyone, there's a chance of showers overnight tonight. So we do have this heat warning still in place from Deer Lake right up through to Bonavista North, and we also have a fog warning, a fog advisory still in place for southern parts of the Avalon. So if you are driving in that area, be prepared for some low visibility on the roads. So as we get into Wednesday afternoon, tomorrow 1 o'clock, you can see that some wet weather on the way for the Avalon Peninsula. Fairly dry for the rest of the island with some cloud cover. We will see some showers coming up through later in the day and some scattered showers there in Labrador. So this is the picture for tomorrow. Some nice warm temperatures for central areas, getting up to about 26 degrees. Again, going to feel a bit warmer with that humidex. Some showers for the east and that fog in place. You can see cooler temperatures along the south coast there, but as you move inland, it'll be much warmer. Heading up to Labrador, a nice day for the east. Happy Valley, Goose Bay, a mix of sun and cloud, and 19 degrees as the high. Some showers for Lab City and 15 degrees. So then we get into Thursday, and this is when the action really starts. We have Tropical Storm Chris heading our way. It's looking like it's going to hit the island at around 7 o'clock on Thursday, the hardest, strongest part of the storm, but we will be seeing some showers move in ahead of that. We could be seeing upwards of 50 millimeters of rain for some areas, and that's why there's this tropical cyclone statement in effect. We'll know a bit more about what's heading our way a bit later, but yeah, I'll get into some of those details, but we are expecting some cooler air in behind that tropical storm, so I'll get into those details a bit later. Debbie?
This could have been an elongated incident. We could possibly still have been there this morning.
A large fire burning so close to new homes in a densely packed neighborhood. Up next, we'll talk to the St. John's Deputy Fire Chief about how close yesterday's fire came to being a major disaster. Welcome back to Here and Now. Well, for residents of Kenmount Terrace, yesterday's forest fire was frightening, but it could have been far worse. High winds, a dense neighborhood, and new building materials are a recipe for disaster. But firefighters and forestry workers are being credited today with saving the neighborhood. I visited the St. John's Central Fire Station today and spoke with Deputy Fire Chief Don Byrne. Deputy Chief Byrne, what goes through your head when you see the images from yesterday's fire? How close it got to some of those homes?
We've had several instances over the past number of years that were very similar. Certainly the last year with Fort Mac, that certainly brings back images, though it was much smaller, but it's the same sort of thing. It's called urban interface. Those types of fires where you have heavy wooded areas close to residential homes, they're always very concerning. And at the end of the day, those require fast attack. Our response there yesterday is commendable to the officers who did indeed respond there with their manpower. When they got there, they deployed their engines in a very strategic manner so that they were able to provide greatest amount of exposure containment that could be done. It was a good job done.
I want to speak a little bit more about the effort. When the firefighters arrive on a scene as big as that, how do they decide where to go and when seconds really do count?
That's where it comes down to good officer management of the scene. I mean, they looked at that scene as an overall, and they broke it down into pieces. And again, it was about providing the greatest coverage to the exposures that existed. And they very strategically placed 3 particular engines, and they fed those engines off towards the backs of the homes in order to provide one of our primary mandates, and that being property conservation. In terms of the forest fire itself, that was secondary to us. Our first priority there was to provide safety to the residents and to the properties. Forestry is responsible to fight the forest fire. We're not geared properly for that, and the fatigue factor would be much too great for our individual firefighters as they're suited up.
And how do you coordinate with forestry officials? Because we're hearing today that thankfully the water bomber that was in Cappahayden was able to come to St. John's to assist with the forest fire near Kenmount Terrace. So how do you coordinate?
Well, we notify them immediately. The officer in charge, the platoon chief that was on duty, he contacted our communications, who would in turn contact forestry. Forestry then prioritizes based upon need. And at that point in time, the greatest need was indeed, and the greatest amount of properties threatened was indeed in the Kenmount Terrace area.
And thankfully, there's no massive damage to these homes. Some decks were burned, some siding melted off. How difficult is it when you're dealing with a neighborhood like Kenmount Terrace that's densely packed together and they're newer homes with newer home building materials?
Well, your newer home building materials have a plastic into them. So your sidings are basically plastic. The insulation that's right directly underneath that siding is usually a styrofoam board, and those things are fairly volatile when directly impinged by flame. Now, what happens with most new construction homes that the fire start on the exterior, they'll actually go up the side of the house, and they typically go into the attic spaces because of the soffit and the way that attic spaces vent. They actually draw the fire up into the attic space. So when you see those fires, you want to get on them very quickly, and our guys use master streams along with hand lines there in order to gain control and have the greatest effect in terms of extinguishment.
Could have been much, much worse. What's the sense in the station today?
Sense in the station is exactly what you said. This could have been an elongated incident. We could possibly still have been there this morning. But the quick action of the officers and the firefighters on the scene, again, is commendable.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Well, the 4 Atlantic premiers were in Summerside PEI today, along with half a dozen federal cabinet ministers. They were there to talk about ways to grow the regional economy during somewhat uncertain times when it comes to the international trade. The CBC's Carrie Campbell reports.
Today's meeting was to provide an update on the Atlantic Growth Strategy, announced 2 years ago as a way to spur economic development and increase population in the region. But the biggest announcement today was with regards to health care, $70 million in federal funding to put the health information of Atlantic Canadians online. Federal Health Minister Jeanette Petitpas-Taylor said the move will make healthcare more efficient in a region with the highest age demographic in the country.
This will be a game changer, significantly improving the way doctors, pharmacies, and hospitals operate. It will make our system more efficient and will help people stay healthier.
There was also a lot of emphasis placed on an upcoming Atlantic trade mission to China, given the current trade battles between the U.S. and Canada and now the U.S. and China.
The trade mission to China, vitally important, because a big market, somebody is going to fill that market.
It's important for us to ensure that we have less of a dependency when it comes to our exports to the U.S. Therefore, the trip to China and many other initiatives that we are undertaking.
Also today, 500 extra placements for a program offering permanent residency to immigrants hired to fill job vacancies in Atlantic Canada.
Attracting skilled workers to Atlantic Canada will not only help businesses here grow, but will also attract more investment.
We believe that we're now in a position where we can show ourselves and show the country not only success, but indeed an improved record of retention.
In fact, while the population in Atlantic Canada did grow last year, the region continues to be a net loser when it comes to people leaving for other parts of Canada. Today's report acknowledges that immigrant retention continues to be a challenge, but politicians today said the situation is improving with a focus on bringing entire families of newcomers to settle in the region. Carrie Campbell, CBC News, Summerside.
You are looking at a live shot from the rooms in downtown St. John's. It's pretty quiet there. It's a sunny and warm day, but stormy conditions are coming for the Avalon with Tropical Storm Chris heading our way. Carolyn has our details coming up next.
Welcome back, and it's time to meet our two young athletes of the day. Our first is 13-year-old Liam Barker, who's from Grand Bank. He's been playing hockey with the United Town Pirates for 4 years.
He is currently playing a defense position.
Congratulations, Liam.
And now let's meet Rachel Tuff. She's an 11-year-old figure skater.
And she recently won gold at the Atlantic Canada Skating Championship in Halifax.
Great outfit, too. Congratulations on being our young athletes of the day.
I know you've been talking about that storm. Chris is coming our way, and it's a few days out, a couple of days out, but a lot of people making plans this time of the year, getting ready for heading out over the road.
Travel plans. It's always good to know when something like this is heading our way. So I'll get to some more of those details in just a moment, but I thought we'd have a look at the current temperatures right across Canada right now. We are still sitting at 25 degrees in St. John's. Montreal, still a scorcher there, 29 degrees, so some hot temperatures right across the country at the moment. And we do have this heat warning still in place, day 2 for parts of Central through Deer Lake up through Bonavista North there. Won't be quite as hot tomorrow as it was today. Temperatures in the upper 20s, a bit warmer with that humidex, so you don't want to be leaving any pets in your car at all for any length of time tomorrow for sure. Once again, we do have that fog advisory still in place for the Southern Avalon. Quick look at how the province is shaping up for tomorrow. St. John's, we're looking at some afternoon showers around lunchtime through to 2 o'clock or so. So if you have any plans for then, yeah, it's going to be a bit wet at that time. Some warm temperatures for central parts. This is a chance of showers throughout the day. Nothing significant, just a few scattered showers. 26 degrees as the high there. Same story for the west coast. Not really significant showers there, but you might be seeing a little bit of wet weather throughout the day, and a lovely day for eastern Labrador tomorrow. Temperatures 18, 19 degrees with a mix of sun and cloud, a bit cooler in the west with 15 degrees and a chance of showers. So as we head into a Wednesday night into Thursday, we have some more showers coming through, and we'll start to see some showers ahead of Tropical Storm Chris Thursday afternoon. So yeah, for the east will be seeing that first. Temperatures 18 degrees on Thursday afternoon, and maybe a bit later in the day before central areas start to see the effects of that storm, looking at 25 degrees. So another hot day coming on Thursday, and things really turning around for Labrador. Beautiful day coming on Thursday, 26 degrees and a mix of sun and cloud in eastern Labrador. So this is the track of a Tropical Storm Chris, expected to turn into a hurricane shortly. By the time we get to Thursday at 2 o'clock, it'll be just off the coast or around the Maritimes there. It will be weakening back to a post-tropical storm and then set to hit the eastern and central portions of the island. So there is a tropical cyclone statement in effect. You can see right here, Thursday around 8 o'clock, this is when the heaviest rains are going to hit. There is still some disagreements in the model, so this could shift between now and then, but that's how it's looking for the moment, and then expecting that to start to move off at overnight on Thursday night into Friday morning. So we could see upwards of 50 millimeters of rain. It's expected to be a largely rain event. So this is the tropical cyclone statement that's in effect. A large portion of the island affected by this. And with that comes some cool temperatures, unfortunately. So Friday afternoon, we're looking at temperatures dropping back to 17, 16 degrees in the east and central, but eastern Labrador bumping up to 29 degrees on Friday afternoon. Not a bad way to start the weekend for sure. So this is a snapshot of the next 5 days. So Saturday not looking great here in the east so far. Some showers, 15 degrees, but things should hopefully start to turn around on Sunday. But central looking great on Saturday if you're making any plans. 24 degrees with a mix of sun and cloud, but some showers moving in on a Sunday expected there. For western Newfoundland, similar story, a nice Saturday coming, not so much on Sunday. Great stretch of temperatures here for eastern Labrador, but also some showers expected there on Sunday. And a bit of a wet weekend as well coming for western Labrador. And that's your forecast. Debbie, back to you.
Thank you, Carolyn. In international news now, the president of the European Union says the U.S. should start appreciating the few allies it still has rather than criticizing them. Donald Tusk was talking about U.S. President Donald Trump's persistent lecturing of NATO members over their defense spending levels. The latest NATO summit gets underway tomorrow, and the alliance's Secretary General says it will outline some significant new spending.
Estimate that European allies and Canada will add 266 billion extra for defense spending from now until 2024.
Stoltenberg says member nations are committing to increase spending for their own safety and not because they're bowing to U.S. pressure. Stoltenberg also spoke about a new Atlantic command structure based in Virginia and another for European command located in Germany. The NATO meeting runs tomorrow and Thursday in Brussels.
Now to the aftermath of massive flooding in western Japan. As the cleanup gets underway in earnest, the government now says at least 155 died in the country's worst flood disaster in more than 3 decades. Searchers are now digging through mud and rubble in the hope of finding some of the dozens of people still unaccounted for. The disaster forced 2 million people from their homes. More than 70,000 soldiers and other personnel are involved in the relief effort.
A state of emergency remains in place for the northern Ontario community of Temagami as a forest fire continues to burn just a few kilometers away. The fire has posed a serious threat to the tourist community northeast of Sudbury after erupting on Sunday afternoon. Authorities had to move 450 campers in 2 national parks. Some rain yesterday has now eased the fire danger, but authorities are keeping the evacuation orders in effect, at least for the moment.
Well, some may call it natural gardening, others may call it neglect. But in Moncton, New Brunswick, City Council has decided it wants to put an end to uncut lawns, and that's getting a mixed reaction from local residents. Yasmin Hassan reports.
The sun shines over plots of grass around the city. The mix of weather has pushed it to grow, and in some places around town, it's gotten very long. Moncton City Councillors are proposing a new law that would fine owners of lawns that are over 8 inches. And some residents of the city have mixed reactions.
No, I think it's ridiculous because aside from aesthetic appeal, the only thing it's going to affect are people with allergies.
If you let the lawns get too long, I suppose it's also a potential fire hazard. Doesn't take much in dry season like now, stray butt or anything and could go up.
If that's what it is, I'm all for it. Yeah, lawn should be cut.
Well, I have a home and I try and keep my lawn, cut at a decent length.
Nicole Melanson is the spokeswoman for Moncton City Hall. She says it's all about the security of residents and making sure Moncton looks like an inviting city. She says that most people take care of their lawns, but that this bylaw was created because those that didn't take care had unruly lawns.
So the maximum length allowed would be 20 centimeters or approximately 8 inches. And that would allow the city to receive complaints from residents.
Fines for an uncut lawn will start at $140 a day for a maximum of $2,100. If the lawn stays uncut, City Hall will hire a company and will add that bill to the fine. Next week, City Councillors will meet for a second reading of the bylaw and hope to enact it on July 16th. After that, City Councillors say that they'll start an awareness campaign to explain what the bylaw means to residents. But for now, these lawns will continue to grow and go unreprimanded. Yasmin Hassan, CBC News, Moncton.
A former banker sees lots of potential in his farm on Prince Edward Island. He's not growing potatoes or apples. He's planted an unusual tree that he predicts will prove a very good investment. Nicole Williams reports.
Jesse Argent carefully mulches and weeds his saplings. He's the founder of Havenloft Tree Nursery, which specializes in producing black walnut trees. The investment banker turned tree farmer has turned to the black walnuts as a new venture, selling them as investment crops.
The timber value is incredibly high, as well as the crop that can come down from the tree. The nuts themselves are actually highly valuable per the pound as well.
He says he got the idea from American clients, and for the past 4 years he's been steadily building the business. Now he's looking for landowners interested in having the trees on their property.
Really, there's a huge amount of land that's just not being used or underutilized on PEI, and it's a great way to increase land value.
He estimates producers can get $5 a pound for walnuts, with each acre growing about 1,000 pounds. But the investment isn't without its risks and challenges. Arjun says it takes years before growers can harvest the trees for nuts or wood. The trees also produce a toxin that can make it difficult to grow certain plants nearby.
It may not outright kill plants, but it will suppress plants, keep them from growing in a very healthy state. Some of those plants may become a bit more susceptible to other types of insects and diseases that impact them because of the stress that they're actually in.
Carmichael says tomatoes and other plants in the nightshade family can get choked out by black walnut trees. It all depends on the size of the tree and how close it is to other plants. But that hasn't deterred Arjun or his investors. He's planted 1,000 saplings this year and is applying for funding with the hopes of building a greenhouse and shed for his orchards. Nicole Williams, CBC News, Charlottetown.
Well, check out this beautiful vista. Gorgeous sunset somewhere in the province. Any guesses? Not really much in here too.
Is it on the island, Carol?
It is on the island, and it is in the east, and it has it's in a community that has a very famous name.
Oh. Well, we'll think on it.
I'll have the answer up next.
Well, the world's first independent Air Force is marking a historic anniversary.
Yes, Britain's Royal Air Force was formed 100 years ago as a separate entity from the Army and the Royal Navy.
The Royal Air Force has won a place in the heart of our nation, and I wish all ranks, past and present, together with your families, every good fortune for your second century of service.
Nearly 100 vintage and modern warplanes planes put on a display over Buckingham Palace for the royal family and crowds of onlookers.
The Queen's father, King George, her husband, Prince Philip, her sons, Prince Charles and Prince Andrew, and her grandson, Prince William, have all been pilots with the RAF. The royals also attended a special service at Westminster Abbey to mark the anniversary.
And this is the photo that we showed you right before the break. Where in the province was it taken? Well, it was taken in lovely Dildo.
That was a good hint.
Yeah.
That was a good hint.
Karen Reed sent that in to our NL photos at cbc.ca. So please, if you have a photo, send it in.
Sailor's delight indeed. That's our program. Thanks very much for being with us. See you tomorrow.